Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Dee Dee. We are the hilarious outcome of opposing brains sharing a mutual desire to share knowledge and positive thinking about hemp and cannabis.
We are here to tear down the walls built by Big Pharma and other big companies that seek to keep the human race in fear and divided.
We are here to shatter the myths about hemp and cannabis and change the stigma of this amazing plant. Welcome to Hemp and Happiness with the Hemp Queen
And Emperor.
Podcast. Join us as we venture into this misunderstood and the unknown. Hey y'all, thank you so much for coming and listening to us. We are happy to be here today, and we got so much fun dialogue I'm already like laughing, giggling, because I know how Matt's going to be with some of this stuff in advance. So thank you for joining us and listening to us.
I have no idea what you're implying.
Yeah.
I don't intend to do anything but give concise and specific information pertinent to the subject at hand.
And down the rabbit hole we will go. So welcome to Hemp and Happiness, and that is really what it's all about. So we in a previous episode we had Dr. Molly Rutherford. She came and kind of gave us some fascinating information on COVID and even on CBD and things like that. And Matt, what are some of your takes on that? Because I wanted to hear your opinion. I thought she was fabulous, obviously, and I'm glad. It was wonderful to have her on as a guest. What do you think?
You know, I've been a fan of Molly for a long time, and the big takeaways, which haven't really changed for me with her and her philosophy, is you can't let the media and this group hysteria take a hold of you in situations like this. This is more than ever. We need to think for ourselves, think rationally, take the necessary precautions, and don't underestimate things, but don't let your fear become worse than the thing itself.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's big on what she preaches, and that's a big takeaway for me.
That was a really
and it
big
really
takeaway
changed
as
my
well.
perspective when I was going through COVID, because I was the fear of COVID was worse than the virus itself.
Same.
So listening to her and acknowledging that, it was a game changer for me personally.
Yeah. Did you take a lot of CBD products when you had COVID?
Among other things, yes.
Same.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna lie, I really think it helped ease some of those symptoms. And of course, I'm not making claims to that. But personally, I think it helped a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I thought what I liked about Molly is that she has a different take on the whole medical, in general, the whole society, and how things are just have evolved and aren't quite what maybe they should be. And having a doctor's honest opinion about some of that stuff, I think that's great. I think we need more people like her.
I think getting an honest opinion
Pro-patient.
is great.
Yeah.
I mean, getting an honest opinion from a physician with that level of education is awesome.
Absolutely.
But just getting people's honest opinion about things is extremely difficult now, because we live in a society where you're no longer allowed to say your opinion, lest you be judged. And it's exhausting. You can't. If it's like, oh, well, you have to pick a side, and that side conforms to these ideals and these specifications, and if you don't, then you're not on that side. You're on this side, which is part of the division, the fear, keeping us separated, and it's no one's responsibility but our own to overcome that, especially in our country where we have the Constitution and the amendments that so clearly spell out the freedom, which we now overlook.
Many times.
To subscribe to
many times.
Ideals foreset by the media and by our quote unquote heroes or modern gods, which are celebrities. So, and that's really the basis of our show today. We're kind of doing a freestyle today, so
Yeah.
we want to be a little more, we want to be informative, but we also want to have fun.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
a lot of our conversations start out as one thing, turn into another, but we find them entertaining. We hope you do too. If you don't, too bad. Change the channel. Kiss my ass. So saying that, tell us a little bit, Dee Dee, because I know you have a perspective
Oh, I do.
on celebrities and endorsements and
I
all
do.
that stuff,
Well,
and I do as well.
And it's crazy, man. Growing up as a kid, Gen X are here. I'm proud of that. You know, of course I like New Kids on the Block. Of course I liked, I like the other one, Backstreet Boys, better. Don't come at me, people. But I just never understood why us as a society has given celebrities, oh my gosh, just so much power into what we think is a good product or what we think is a bad product. So if a celebrity likes something, and they're endorsing it, and it is not even superior, why would you buy it? I just never understood that. I never understood that. Even in today's society, that a celebrity endorses this, so that's the one you should buy. Well, there's probably something better that is not endorsed by a celebrity. It aggravates me to no end when people are like, well, but this is, it's Martha Stewart's brand or it's Snoop Dogg's brand, and I'm like, what does that have anything to do with it? They're just getting paid to tell you it's a good product.
But I think that lends to the deeper issue of how are we create how are our idols created in our society today? We want to say, oh, it's because they're so talented, but that's bullshit. Because
Some are.
there's a ton of extremely talented celebrities out there, but being talented is not synonymous with being a celebrity.
No.
There are a lot of talented people out there that never get recognized,
Right.
never get seen. There are a lot of very intelligent people out there. And that's the real tragedy is our physicians, our physicists, our doctors out there doing research and finding new discoveries are overlooked and ignored. I mean, you don't know who these people are today, which is lost. Because I remember as a kid, at least we had NASA, and those were heroes. Those astronauts were heroes.
Right.
Now it's it's who was chosen, and the celebrities that are chosen, while they may be talented, it's not an accident. They're a combination of things that the media decides is what they want to use as their vehicle to shape our reality. So you have to bear that in mind that this idol was not chosen by you. It was presented to you under the specifications that it will be pleasing to, some portion of your brain that you will then subscribe to in a group mentality and feel compulsed to follow their lead.
Right. It's the same thing with influencers.
And that's the thing is you're not following their lead. You're following the lead that they've been given to say this is this is your Pied Piper fiddle, or Pied Piper pipe that's going to direct people the way we want them to go. And it's controlled by they're all controlled by a higher source, which is money based. Well, I say all. That's generalizing. Most.
In our society in general, most things that people do is money based, and sometimes that takes away from. I can't even think of the words. Just it takes away from the good product. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, I got a celebrity that's endorsed me now, but they don't know jack shit about this product. They really can't say anything really about this product. Truly, they don't use it. They got paid to say that. And that irritates the living crap out of me.
Well, it's because it lends itself in the same. Oh, if the celebrity used it, it's got to be good. Or if the celebrity, they must have had something to do in the design of this product or
And
the structure
nine
of this
times out of
product.
10, they didn't.
Right.
It's a big corporation coming in and paying them to endorse this stuff.
Well, and chances are as well, they may very well own a piece of the company,
They
but they
could.
don't.
Yeah.
More often than not, they know nothing about
Right.
it. And the thing about celebrities too is this becomes most evident when you see them make a mistake.
Mhm.
We now live in a world of character assassination. Um, you see a celebrity when somebody decides, okay, I'm done with them. They put up some media event that they said this, or they did this, or how dare they this, and then they're done. Which is it forms it lends to that group hysteria and forms that opinion of, oh, how dare they, and then they're simply written off and thrown away
Mhm.
and made room for the next project.
Then the next big thing.
Right.
Mhm.
So that is so wrong. It's a fundamental flaw in what we're dealing with now, and we really want to change that. Um, I wish more people would come out and just openly admit their flaws and what they do wrong. Just get it out of the way.
We can tell you all our flaws.
Yeah,
Or I can
and
tell you
I'll
his.
tell you, even just the recent occurrences with the character assassination of podcasters. We do research on this show. We try to get it right. We do our best to
Yeah.
get it right, but we're not going to get it right. And chances are we're going to say something that's wrong. Would I apologize for saying something that's wrong? Yes. Would I feel particularly bad about it? No, because I did things to the best of my ability, and being wrong sometimes is the only way to figure out how to be right. You're going to learn more from your mistakes than
For sure.
anything else. But if you're involved in the media, people aren't going to see it that way. They're just going to simply pass judgment on you. You did something, you
Right.
made a mistake, and that's how you're deemed judged forever.
Mhm.
And it's
And
terrible.
that isn't right.
It's terrible.
That isn't right.
No, human
No.
beings are going to make mistakes. And that's should be okay. I mean,
And everybody has their opinion about everybody. So be it. If you don't like someone, then don't listen to them. Move
Yeah.
on. Move on.
yeah.
Who cares? Move on. Stop making it such a big deal about every little thing.
At this
Move on.
point, I would never judge someone's character by something I read in the media, even a local newspaper, because there's decisions made on the light that's presented.
Absolutely.
And there used to be something called yellow journalism that you never hear that phrase anymore because it's all yellow journalism
Well,
now.
when I first started, Matt, this is before you. I had a local news station come out and interview me because a big box store started carrying CBD products and they wanted my opinion on it. I gave them my opinion on it, but what'd they do? They took out one little tiny thing, and that's what they harped on. Didn't even talk about everything else I said and the good aspects of it but they took the one little thing bad I said. So, they will media will shine the light on what they want to shine it on, and they want that controversy. They want they want us to fight amongst ourselves. I mean,
Okay. Well, there's two things.
I know.
One,
See, I give him more to talk about. You're welcome.
there was no before me.
Oh,
There was darkness.
Oh, please.
And then one day there was light.
Oh my God. Riding my coattails like you know it.
Yeah, something.
You're welcome.
And second of all, there was no before me. That was I don't. That's it. Those are the two things.
Okay, moving on from that because I know the truth, people. I've been doing this way longer without you, but I am happy to have you now. So
thank you for allowing me.
You're welcome.
I just got shivers.
You should have.
Right. So, what was the morals of the story?
The morals of the story is you don't have to buy a product from a celebrity. Okay, they're just endorsing it. Your best friend, like me, could have an amazing quality product, but I'm not a celebrity. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just think about that next time. I mean, you've got friends, and I'm just talking about general, and I'm not even talking about CBD products, but just in general.
Yeah.
Your family, your friends, they could have a freaking amazing products that could benefit you, but you choose a celebrity instead of their product. And it's just something to think about. I mean, small businesses, small businesses in general across this entire country help the communities. We help give back. You don't see Amazon, sponsoring your local baseball team. No,
Mhm.
it's small businesses. Small businesses do that. And even a mom and pop, they are so much more in the community than some of these big box stores are, and online huge ginormous retailers that we're not going to mention name wise. Just think about that. That's kind of important.
Well, and it's funny you should say that because with the invention of the internet and the evolution of the internet,
Mhm.
we have access to more information now than we ever have before. Now, is a lot of that fake news? Absolutely. Um, but there is a lot of legitimate sources of information, and at least, if nothing else, the ability to formulate your own opinion on products and people.
Right.
Um, and you
Super
should use
important.
that. That is so important.
Mhm.
The problem with that is I feel that the internet is misused in the gathering of information, and you see it when you log on to a web browser and you're bombarded with these
Oh,
news clips.
well,
Fifty
that
percent of them are ads, and 50% of
right.
them are news, and it's not usually legitimate news. It's usually trash.
Well, and that too. I mean, Matt, you go to search for something in the big Google search, and mostly opinions pop up. And granted, we have our own blog as well. We have our own CBD education page on our website where you can find all sorts of things. But a lot of the information that's out there, it's opinion. It's opinion. Blogs are opinion, people. Some of them do really well with the research. We definitely try, and we try to provide backlinks and the research to it. But, you got to be careful what you read too on the internet. I mean, that's true. Some of it's not, it's just an opinion.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you can't believe everything you read. You can't just take something as a legitimate source. You have to take that upon yourself,
Hmm.
and you really should be looking at multiple sources. If this is particularly if you're researching something that could affect your health,
Right.
or could affect your well-being.
Read
Uh,
both the positive and the negatives. Read
yes,
both sides and then form your own opinion. That's what we should do.
yeah, yeah, and remember your rights
Hmm.
as a U.S. citizen. We we have the First Amendment right
Hmm.
of freedom of speech. You have the right to say what you want to say. You have the right to have the opinion that you want to have,
Hmm.
um, and that is something that should never be taken away or influenced. If and you have to recognize what is your legitimate thought and what is a thought that may be being put in, maybe the influence might be projecting that or altering that opinion of that thought. um, Looking at yourself and as purely as possible and accepting what is the best reality for you is critical.
It is. And I want to give a couple examples because I've brought this up before. I've had some people tell me about the COVID hair loss, right? And how people are getting thinner hair and that it's from COVID. I have had customers call the store because they read somewhere that CBD promotes hair restoration. Well, I'm like, if it did, I would have the thickest mane of hair that there ever was, right? And I still have thin hair. So it kind of bothers me that there's this misinformation being put out there, and then people are like, "Oh, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. I gotta use it. I gotta use it that way." And I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the
So
biggest struggle in the industry
it
is
is.
that it's full of charlatans
It
who
is.
will make a claim and I hate to praise the FDA, but the FDA stepping in and stopping claims while hurts legitimate business people, at least has put a stop to these, or slowed down these ridiculous claims that you can quit smoking, you can quit drinking, you can do all these great things if you take this gummy, which is
Yeah,
typically a CBD gummy, and it's fraudulent
it is.
because,
Well, then there's the scamming and of the scam too, because then they get you on that monthly subscription thing, and you can't. I mean, yeah. Don't even get me going on that, but it's true.
yeah,
Yeah, and the fraudulent claims in this industry, and we have spoken about this before too in previous episodes. You just got to be careful. I mean, you have to know what you're buying. You got to be able to ask the right sources. You got to, if it looks like somebody's making it in their storeroom or their kitchen, you might want to question that. It's kind of an issue.
well, but we're straying from the
I
celebrity.
know we are.
So
That's what we do.
I think that really the takeaway of this episode is you can't just accept a product as a great product because it's endorsed by someone who
Thank
you
you.
like or who you see as a celebrity.
Exactly.
Especially if it deals with your health, something you're putting into your body.
Mhm.
The internet is out there. You can do the research. Don't be distracted and form your own opinion. And that's the thing too, is you'll notice these algorithms in these search engines will actually try to direct you towards, when you're doing research, and I know this because I do a lot of research on the subject matter that we talk about here, but also on products and things that we sell at our store.
Right.
Um,
We vet
and
them.
it's fascinating how you'll be looking for something specific, and 15 minutes into it, you're in a whole different world because that's where the kind of the search engines
Mhm.
directed you to. And it is difficult, even for someone who I consider myself to be on task most of the time, 80% of the time, 60% of the time, 40% of the time,
Yeah, that
to be in
sounds
a
about right.
completely different place than where I started. So the information's out there. You have the right to it, and you have the right to form your own opinion about it.
Mhm.
So do that, please. Whatever I can do, I will put on a clown suit. I will jump up and down, like whatever. You have to have your own opinion out
do.
there, people, because if you don't, no one's going to have your opinion for you, and it's not going to happen by itself. And you're doing other people a disservice by not sharing what you really think, because it may be better than what's out there.
Well, yeah, the same things for influencers too. I mean, they're considered, IG celebrities, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with them.
Yeah.
So, just be careful. Be careful what you're buying. I mean, yeah.
Well, and choose your idols wisely.
Yeah.
Because chances are you're idolizing them because of an egoic construct that you've built around your perception of them as super fit people, super sexy people, super fun people. And that's exactly what the media plays on,
Right.
to make you want to be like them, and then make you want to buy the products that they endorse.
And growing up as a kid, I just never, ever idolized anybody like that. No one. I never idolized anyone like that. I guess I was much more of a realist even as a child, because I'm just like, why? Why do I have to believe what they're saying? And I never understood that. So I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, I've just never been into that ever. Never, ever, ever. So, and I think that in and of itself has to do with advertising and marketing, obviously.
Yeah,
So,
agreed.
mhm.
Well, on that note,
On that note,
should we wrap it up?
I think we should wrap it up. Y'all, thanks for listening to us. Definitely leave comments, follow us on all the socials. Unfortunately, we have to be on them. Definitely keep in touch,
And disagree with us, please. And if we're wrong
especially Matt.
and we misquote or say something that's incorrect, by all means tell us.
Don't tell me,
Well,
because it'll hurt my feelings.
I want to know. I want to know. But don't just assassinate my character.
Agreed.
Because I've already done that perfectly well myself.
Thanks all. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Hempin Happiness with the Hemp Queen
And Emperor.
Keep your mind ever open and expanding. Like, subscribe, review, follow us, all the good stuff. And
keep it hempy out there.